Reports coming out of Sokoto in 2026 describe a deeply troubling situation in several communities that experienced a sudden wave of violence carried out by armed groups that residents identified as part of the larger network responsible for repeated attacks in remote parts of the state. According to early information gathered from regional security updates, families living in small settlements near the outskirts of Isa and Sabon Birni were the first to alert local authorities after hearing gunfire late in the evening, followed by the sound of people running from their homes in search of safety. Witnesses described the scene as frightening and chaotic as the attackers moved through the area, targeting households and leaving many villagers in shock. Regional community leaders who spoke to journalists early the next morning expressed grief over the tragic events and called for urgent reinforcements to protect vulnerable communities that have long found themselves isolated during security emergencies. Reports from residents described people fleeing in different directions, trying to find safe spots to hide, while others attempted to contact relatives in nearby towns to warn them of the unfolding violence. Security analysts following the situation explained that these attacks appear consistent with patterns seen in remote northern communities where armed groups often exploit gaps in protection, especially during late hours when visibility is low and access to communication networks becomes more difficult. The families affected shared emotional stories of running through fields and forests in the dark, carrying children on their backs, and trying to reach safer grounds while the sounds of distress echoed around them. Some villagers who were able to escape reached nearby towns with nothing but the clothes they were wearing, explaining that the attack happened so suddenly that there was barely time to gather belongings or warn their neighbors. The morning after the incident, humanitarian volunteers and local youth groups visited affected families to provide basic support such as drinking water, blankets, and temporary shelter while waiting for additional assistance from state authorities. As Nigerians reacted to the disturbing news, many took to digital platforms to express sadness for the affected communities and to call for stronger interventions that protect rural residents from repeated attacks. Commentators monitoring the region emphasized that the people living in these villages have long voiced concerns about the need for improved road access, more reliable communication towers, and increased presence of security personnel, especially in areas that have recorded multiple incidents over the years. While religious and traditional leaders in the state have not yet made public statements, many citizens are hoping for guidance and reassurance to help stabilize emotions during such difficult moments. At the same time, state officials are said to be gathering verified information about the scale of the damage, the number of affected families, and the immediate needs of survivors who are now seeking safety in neighboring communities. Residents who managed to return to the area after the violence shared accounts of quiet, empty streets, abandoned homes, and the heavy atmosphere that usually surrounds communities after traumatic events. Many said that the emotional impact of losing loved ones, property, and a sense of safety is something people will carry for a long time. Volunteers from nearby towns assisted in helping elderly individuals and children who appeared disoriented or frightened, offering comfort and reassuring them that help was on the way. Security teams were deployed to the broader region soon after initial alerts, conducting patrols to prevent further harm and assess the level of threats still present. Evacuation efforts also began in some of the smaller settlements where families felt unsafe returning to their homes until security agencies completed risk assessments and offered guidance on next steps. Across Nigeria, people watching the situation closely have highlighted the importance of unity and community support in moments like this. Many commented that attacks on rural settlements often go unnoticed unless citizens continue raising awareness and calling attention to the challenges people in remote areas face daily. Online discussions focused on the need for long-term safety solutions, including improved early warning systems, rapid response units equipped to reach distant communities quickly, and investment in technology that allows people to report danger even when network signals are weak. As the story continues to develop, viewers are encouraged to stay informed, follow responsible reporting, and support content that helps people understand the reality of rural insecurity. If you are listening and want to continue receiving clear and verified updates about important events across the country, this is a good time to like the video so more people can stay informed, and remember to subscribe so you never miss essential coverage as new details emerge. Security experts add that incidents like this underscore the need for stronger coordination between community leaders, state authorities, and national agencies. Many have stressed that strengthening communication between villagers and nearby security posts can help reduce response time during emergencies. They also pointed out that seasonal changes, such as rainy periods that make roads harder to navigate, can create additional challenges for security personnel trying to reach affected areas quickly. With these concerns in mind, discussions are already underway about improved infrastructure and community-driven security initiatives that can give people more confidence in their safety. Families in Sokoto are now focusing on recovering from the shock, supporting each other emotionally, and working with local authorities to understand what steps will be taken next to protect them from future attacks. As communities await official updates, many Nigerians across the country are sending messages of support, prayers, and solidarity to the affected families. People from different states have expressed their heartbreak at the reports, reminding others that the suffering in one part of the nation touches everyone. This shared sense of empathy, combined with growing public interest in long-term solutions, has created a renewed conversation about how to address insecurity in rural areas more effectively. If you have been following this story up to this point, kindly tap the like button and subscribe so that more viewers can join the conversation and stay updated with important national news as it unfolds. Your engagement helps promote responsible storytelling and ensures that the experiences of vulnerable communities are not forgotten.